By 2026, many campervan owners will look back and realize the regret didn't come from how they used their van, but from trusting a market that was already changing beneath them. Today, popular models still feel safe, practical, and well-supported. Yet, behind the scenes, resale expectations are slipping as oversupply grows and tightly packed systems begin to age without much forgiveness. Nothing feels urgent when everything still works, which is why these patterns are so costly once resale enters the picture. Service notes accumulate, buyer confidence fades, and trade-in offers quietly adjust downward. Today, we're breaking down 10 campervans almost everyone will regret buying in 2026. Starting with the models the market is already treating more cautiously than most buyers realize. Coachmen Nova 23 RB. Corner-cutting hides best inside-friendly pricing, and the Coachmen Nova 23 RB proves that lesson the hard way. It enters showrooms looking practical, calm, and familiar. Built on the Ford Transit platform that many trust without hesitation. The Nova 23 RB was designed to hit an entry price that feels reachable. To get there, insulation depth is reduced, vapor barriers are simplified, and electrical headroom is trimmed tight. Those decisions do not fail immediately. They age. Service reports from late 2022 through early 2025 show repeated complaints tied to moisture control, heating efficiency, and battery strain during temperature swings. These are not breakdowns. They are slow degradations that change resale math quietly. Wholesale auction listings from Mannheim show Nova units clearing 12 to 18%, below expected book figures once moisture notes or electrical advisories appear. Dealers read those notes carefully. They price risk, not optimism. Ownership costs stack in small pieces. Extra ceiling work, electrical upgrades sooner than planned, climate adjustments that never fully solve the root cause. Each repair feels manageable. Together, they erase the savings that attracted buyers initially. The Ford Transit chassis itself is not the issue. The issue is how close the conversion runs to its limits. Tight tolerances leave no margin for aging materials or seasonal extremes. Regret forms when owners expect entry-level pricing to behave like long-term value. The market does not agree. Once history appears, offers soften quickly. This RV remains drivable, clean, and functional. That is what makes the loss surprising. Appearance stays strong, while numbers slide underneath. That disconnect catches sellers off guard because timing shifts faster than expectations, and waiting even a single season can quietly transfer thousands of dollars away from equity without warning during resale negotiations later on. What looks like a simple entry mistake starts revealing a pattern once brand trust enters the picture. Winnebago Solis 59 AOP. At first glance, the Winnebago Solis 59P feels honest. It looks simple, practical, and refreshingly free of gimmicks. That simplicity is exactly why so many people trust it. But simplicity can hide pressure points, and in this case, those pressure points show up faster than expected. The Solis 59P is built on the Ram Pro Master platform, which allows Winnebago to keep weight low and layouts tight. That tightness is the core issue. Plumbing lines, electrical wiring, and insulation are packed closely together. When temperatures swing, condensation has nowhere to go. Moisture lingers. Over time, it works into seams, fasteners, and flooring. Service records from late 2023 through early 2025 tell a consistent story. Owners report soft spots forming near entry points, repeated electrical warnings, and battery systems operating near their limits. None of these problems strand someone immediately. That is what makes them expensive. They grow quietly while value slips away. Wholesale auction sheets from Mannheim show Solis units clearing at roughly 10 to 14% below expected book figures once moisture or electrical notes appear. Dealers see those notes and immediately adjust. Fixes do not restore confidence. They simply stop further damage. The financial math is straightforward. A campervan that needs dehumidifiers, seal resealing, or electrical upgrades costs money twice, first at the repair shop, then again at resale. Buyers do not pay extra for corrections. They discount for history. Winnebago built the Solis to be approachable, But approachability does not equal durability. The compact design leaves little margin for aging, and aging is unavoidable. Once the warranty window closes, ownership becomes a series of small expenses that add up quickly. And here is the quiet danger. Because the Solis still looks clean, many sellers expect strong offers. They are often surprised when numbers come back lower than planned. That quiet loss sets the stage for a different problem entirely, one driven less by design and more by sheer volume. If you're finding this breakdown useful, make sure you like the video and subscribe. It helps this investigation reach more people who might be walking into the same mistakes. And if you've seen these issues firsthand, share your insight so others can stay informed. Thor Sequence 20K. Some campervans lose value because they fail. Others lose value because there are simply too many of them. The Thor Sequence 20K falls into the second category, and that distinction matters to your wallet. The Sequence 20K arrived during peak demand, when manufacturers were rewarded for volume instead of restraint. Thor pushed production hard, filling dealer lots with nearly identical layouts on the Ram Pro Master chassis. At first, that looked like availability. Now, it looks like pressure. Wholesale listing data from RV Trader and Mannheim Auctions shows late 2023 and 2024 Sequence units appearing repeatedly, sometimes 3 times, before finally clearing. Prices that began near $100,000 to $29,995 are now competing against used listings hovering close to $99,000. That spread does not stay theoretical. It forces every dealer to blink. Here is the real issue. Oversupply destroys leverage. When 10 Sequence vans sit side by side, condition stops mattering. Mileage stops mattering. Your van becomes interchangeable. Dealers know they can wait you out because another nearly identical unit is already behind you in line. Ownership costs add another layer. Interior components on the Sequence age faster than buyers expect. Cabinet latches loosen. Trim shifts. None of it is catastrophic, but it is visible. Visible wear gives appraisers justification to shave numbers further, especially when inventory is already heavy. This is how regret forms, not through breakdowns, but through math. Depreciation accelerates when supply stays high and demand cools. Even careful owners feel it. The Sequence 20K is not a bad RV. It is simply trapped in the wrong market moment. Timing matters more than build quality when inventory overwhelms demand. Tight tolerances create pressure over time, and the next RV shows how physical stress accelerates that process. Coachmen Beyond 22C Shears 22D. Luxury impressions form quickly with the Coachmen Beyond 22C and 22D because the finish looks refined and the badge carries weight. That first impression is exactly where the problem begins. The Beyond series runs on the Mercedes Sprinter platform, a chassis known for capability and cost. To deliver upscale interiors at that price point, systems are packed tightly and run close to their limits. Electrical loads, climate control demands, and battery draw rarely leave margin. Service documentation from late 2023 through early 2025 shows repeat visits for electrical faults and climate performance adjustments. These are not catastrophic failures. They are small corrections that consume time. Here is where the financial pressure shows up. Mercedes Sprinter service networks move slower and cost more. Dealer bulletins referenced by RV Business Report. Parts delays stretching 30 to 45 days for certain electrical and heating components. Downtime is the hidden expense. While the RV sits, value drops. Appraisers see multiple service entries and immediately adjust offers downward. Even warranty repairs do not protect resale confidence once a pattern appears. Buyers often assume the Beyond will age gracefully because it looks premium. Market data says otherwise. Auction results show Beyond units clearing several $1,000s lower than comparable vans with simpler systems. This is not about comfort. It is about tolerance. Tight systems leave little room for aging. Once time enters the equation, costs follow quietly. That reality surprises many owners when resale conversations begin sooner than planned. What looked stable on paper becomes expensive through waiting, diagnostics, and depreciation math that never favors the seller. Wear from use is only part of the equation, because internal strain can drain value even faster without leaving obvious scars. Winnebago Revel. Adventure is the promise that sells the Winnebago Revel, and that promise feels solid the first time it leaves pavement. Tall stance, confident posture, the look of a RV built for rougher ground. But the hidden cost appears later, after vibration, moisture, and weight begin doing their quiet work. The Revel rides on the Mercedes Sprinter platform, and that chassis is capable. The stress comes from what is added on top. Heavy systems, large batteries, off-grid hardware mounted where constant movement never stops. Every mile transfers energy into fasteners, seals, and wiring paths. Service notes from late 2022 through early 2025 show repeat visits for seal fatigue, wiring abrasion, and mounting adjustments. These are not dramatic failures. They are the kind that creep forward unnoticed until value is already gone. Auction data from Mannheim shows Revel units with documented repairs, clearing 8 to 12% below comparable campervans without modification notes. That gap widens once warranty coverage expires. Dealers see off-road use and immediately protect themselves. Ownership math shifts quickly. The Revel encourages harder travel, and harder travel accelerates aging. When repairs stack, downtime follows. When downtime follows, resale confidence disappears. Fixes do not restore value. They only stabilize function. This is where regret forms. Not because the RV failed, but because it did exactly what it was asked to do. Use leaves marks. Marks reduce offers. The Revel still attracts attention. That attention creates optimism, but optimism does not survive inspection reports and service logs. Comfort changes expectations, and once expectations rise, the cost of maintaining them rises even faster. Thor Telaro 20A, Thor Rize 18M. Some regrets arrive loudly, others leak in slowly. The Thor Telaro 20I and Thor Rize 18M belong to the second group, and that makes them dangerous. These twin campervans share the same Ram ProMaster foundation and nearly identical systems. On the surface, they feel balanced. Inside, everything works. But beneath that calm, electrical and thermal, loads operate near their comfort ceiling from day one. Service logs from late 2023 through early 2025 show a pattern of repeat visits for battery recalibration, inverter protection faults, and climate system adjustments. None of these events end a trip. They shorten patience. Here is where the financial problem starts. When systems age through accumulation instead of failure, depreciation becomes invisible until resale. Dealer reconditioning sheets referenced by large national RV chains show higher preparation costs for Telaro and Rize units compared to similar-sized campervans with simpler layouts. That extra preparation does not add value. It removes leverage. Appraisers see stacked service entries and assume more are coming. Offers reflect caution, not condition. Ownership math turns quietly negative. Small electrical upgrades, cooling tweaks, battery replacements earlier than planned. Each one feels manageable. Together, they erase the savings that attracted buyers in the first place. These RVs are not unreliable. They are unforgiving. Tight tolerances leave no margin for time. Once warranty coverage ends, costs move from the manufacturer ledger to yours. That transition catches many owners off guard. The RV still looks modern. Everything still functions, but the market reads the history, not the appearance. That creeping erosion becomes far more expensive when early production decisions enter the equation. Roadtrek Zion, Zion Slumber. Comfort sells quietly with the Roadtrek Zion and Zion Slumber. And that quiet confidence explains why so many people trust it without hesitation. The layout feels familiar, the systems feel proven, the brand feels safe, but safety on paper does not always translate to safety for your wallet. The Zion series rides on the Ram ProMaster platform, and Roadtrek uses that space to pack in features. Beds convert, storage stacks upward, plumbing and wiring run close together. That density matters over time. Service reports from late 2022 through early 2025 show repeat patterns. Slide mechanisms require adjustment. Plumbing fittings loosen. Electrical connections need reseating. Each issue alone feels minor. Together, they build a record. That record changes resale math. Wholesale listings from RV Trader show Zion units with service history clearing several $1,000s below comparable campervans without repair notes. Dealers explain it simply. Complex layouts create more future risk. Here is the hidden cost. Comfort increases weight. Weight increases strain. Strain shortens component life. When components age unevenly, repairs cluster instead of spacing out. Ownership then becomes reactive. Fix one thing, watch another appear. Downtime follows. Confidence drops. The Zion does not fail dramatically. It erodes quietly. That erosion surprises owners who expected gradual depreciation, not sudden adjustment when selling. This is where regret forms, not from breakdowns, from offers that arrive lower than planned and explanations that sound rehearsed. The RV still looks good. It still drives well. But markets price probability, not appearance. As we move closer to the top of this list, the next RV shows how early production choices magnify loss faster than comfort ever could. That distinction matters because timing decides whether equity survives or disappears. That knowledge creates leverage, slows decisions, and prevents rushed purchases during soft markets, where patience protects value and haste hands equity back to dealers who are already planning the next round of reductions, quietly. Jayco Comet 18C, 18M. Jayco entered the campervan space with confidence, and the Comet 18C and 18M reflect that ambition. Experience in trailers does not automatically translate to Class B RV execution, and that gap shows up early. Initial production runs focused on speed and market entry. Fit and finish tuning came later. Dealer service notes from late 2023 through mid-2025 show repeat adjustments. Cabinet alignment needs correction. Electrical systems require software resets. Plumbing connections get reseated. None of this sounds severe. That is why it matters. Early cycle RVs always pay a penalty. Markets price learning curves into every offer. Auction listings from Mannheim show Comet units clearing several $1,000s below expectations once service history appears. The problem is not build quality alone. It is timing. Buyers pay for certainty. Early models carry questions. That uncertainty reduces leverage long before wear becomes visible. The Comet will likely improve with time, but early ownership absorbs the cost of that improvement. Regret does not come from failure. It comes from being first when first is not rewarded. Next, we step into the danger zone where a premium chassis cannot save a budget build from depreciation math that never forgives optimism, only discipline and patience when timing windows open and close without warning to those who expect brand strength to override market cycles already in motion. Those cycles reward buyers who wait, observe, and verify patterns before committing. They penalize those who assume new means safe. With the Jayco Comet, patience is not passive. It is a financial tool that protects equity until later revisions stabilize pricing, reduce service visits, and restore confidence that early buyers paid to create without being compensated for taking that risk upfront, before the market adjusted fully to reflect real ownership experience and true long-term costs now becoming visible to everyone involved today. Coachmen Galleria 24Q trust shifts quickly when a familiar badge meets a tight budget. And the Coachmen Galleria 24Q shows exactly how that tension plays out over time. This RV sits on the Mercedes Sprinter platform, a chassis known for durability and cost. The problem is not the foundation. The problem is the conversion layered on top of it. To hold pricing down, electrical systems are packed tightly, insulation is reduced, and battery loads are pushed near their ceiling from the first trip. Everything works at delivery. Stress appears later. Independent RV repair shops report a steady pattern beginning shortly after warranty coverage fades. Electrical diagnostics, charging irregularities, and inverter protection faults become common. Estimates regularly land between $3,000 and $6,000 before labor delays, and parts wait times are added. Wholesale auction remarks from Mannheim often flag Galleria units with electrical concern notes. Once those words appear, bidding behavior changes immediately. Dealers price caution, not confidence. Ownership costs rise quietly. Each repair costs more because Sprinter parts move slower and labor rates run higher. Downtime stretches. Resale confidence drops. The math is unforgiving. A premium chassis raises service costs. A budget build raises failure probability. That combination erases savings faster than most expect. The Galleria 24Q does not strand owners. It drains them. Small fixes accumulate. Records grow longer, offers grow smaller. This is where regret forms, not from breakdowns on the road, but from trade evaluations that arrive lower than planned and explanations that sound rehearsed. The RV still drives well. it still looks sharp. Markets do not reward appearance. They reward simplicity and low risk. That lesson becomes unavoidable when repair exposure shifts fully onto the owner, and buyers see history instead of promises. Pressure continues building from here, because the final entry shows how heat and complexity can accelerate loss faster than any electrical issue ever could under sustained travel conditions and ownership. Thor Sanctuary, Thor, Tranquility Mercedes, Sprinter, all-wheel drive. Confidence sells first with the Thor Sanctuary and Thor Tranquility, and that confidence is earned visually before it is tested mechanically. These RVs ride on the Mercedes Sprinter all-wheel drive platform and project capability, tall stance, aggressive tires, a look that suggests margin. The problem is that margin disappears once heat, load, and complexity intersect. Service records from late 2023 through mid-2025 show a repeating pattern. Cooling systems run hot under sustained climbs. Electrical loads stack when climate control, battery charging, and drivetrain demands overlap. Diagnostics follow. Downtime stretches. Dealer service notes describe thermal warnings, power derates, and extended inspection cycles. None of these events announce failure, they announce stress. Stress shortens timelines and raises costs. Ownership math turns unforgiving fast. When a high-priced RV sits waiting on specialized parts, value leaks away daily. Auction listings from Mannheim show Sanctuary and Tranquility units with heat-related service notes, clearing thousands below comparable vans without those flags. This is where regret hardens. The image remains strong. The brochures still impress. But resale decisions are driven by probability, not appearance. Once warranty protection ends, repair exposure moves fully onto the owner. Complex systems mean fewer shops, longer waits, and higher labor rates. Each visit compounds the record that buyers will later scrutinize. The Sanctuary and Tranquility are not poorly built. They are tightly engineered. Tight engineering leaves little forgiveness. When everything works, they shine. When conditions stack, costs escalate. Knowing that sequence protects leverage, it encourages patience. It prevents buying on confidence alone when the math already signals pressure building beneath the surface for those watching closely. Timing awareness saves capital, avoids regret, and keeps negotiations grounded while markets correct quietly over coming months ahead. So, that wraps up the Campervans, already pushing buyers toward regret in 2026. Prices are shifting, warranties are tightening, and resale floors are dropping faster than most people expect. Seeing these patterns early is the only way to protect your money before it quietly disappears. If this breakdown helped, like the video, subscribe for future market updates, and leave a comment if you've owned or considered any of these vans.